Hello, everybody. This is William Hemphill, and I just want to talk to you for a couple minutes today about appreciating the ordinary or being grateful for the mundane. And with that thought, I'm thinking in two ways. One, being grateful or appreciating the ordinary in our spiritual relationship with God, but then also in our relationship with our spouse. So, yesterday, I was having a conversation with my wife last night as we were winding down for the evening. Now, my wife and I are pretty much an empty nest syndrome. We have one child who's still here, but she's in her 20s. And so we pretty much operate in an empty nest syndrome. And so we're having this discussion, and one of the things she talked about was like, when we first got married, when we were dating, when we were all these things, conversations seemed to flow a whole lot easier between us. And now at times those conversations can be a little bit challenging. And I kind of agreed with her. But then she said something very interesting. She said, like, for instance, yesterday evening when you talked to me about your trip to the grocery store, for me, that was connecting. It didn't have to always be something deep or extra meaningful. Just talking about the grocery store was connecting. And I sat and I thought about that for a moment, especially as a therapist and clergy. I'm used to talking about deep things. But I thought about that for a moment. I said, a trip to the grocery store was connecting. The fact that I took a couple minutes and said, I went to the store, I got some blueberries for you, I got this for you. They had run out of a lot of stuff, and surprisingly, a lot of the shelves were pretty empty. For me, that was just an ordinary trip. It was no big deal. It was mundane. It's like I didn't think about it. But to say that to my wife was connecting and it allowed us to connect together. Here's what I want to say about that. We do our jobs. We go to work every day. We go to school every day. We might hang out with our friends. We might go to the gym. We do all go to church or whatever. We do all these ordinary everyday activities. And we don't really share about them because for us it's just, it's mundane. It's ordinary. It's no big deal. But sharing that action or that aspect of our day allows us to connect with our spouses who weren't there with us at work or at the gym or, in my case, at the grocery store. Here's another thing about the ordinary and mundane. When we stop to think about it, we can be grateful to God for the ordinary and the mundane. We can be grateful that we can go to a grocery store and pick up food, even though it seems ordinary to us, because God is still supplying food for us. We can be grateful about going to a gym and getting exercise on our bodies and being able to afford that if we're so inclined or so blessed to do that. We can be thankful for the time to sit down with our children and ask them about school and build connections. So when we don't take for granted the ordinary or mundane, number one, it allows us to be grateful to God and be ever mindful of the blessings that God has given us, that the Lord brings to us. And number two, it allows us to connect with the people that we love. So let's not dismiss the ordinary and the mundane, or what seems ordinary and mundane to us, but instead let us pause and take time and be grateful to God first, and then be willing to share it with our loved ones so we can connect and be blessed. Take care and have a wonderful day.